ambassadors and dear guests. Welcome to Arctic Frontiers and welcome to the FRAM Center. My name is Salve Dale and I'm the chair of the steering group of Arctic Frontiers. And together with the partners of Arctic Frontiers, I really do look forward to have you here for the coming days. This year is the 10th anniversary of Arctic Frontiers, and it's a great pleasure to offer you the most complex Arctic Frontiers arena ever. The theme this year is industry and environment, a very timely theme. And tomorrow morning we open the policy session at UiT, the Arctic University of Norway. On Tuesday, Arctic Frontiers Business opens at the Edge Hotel in town, while Arctic Frontiers Science starts on Wednesday and runs at the university. In addition, we have a number of side events and breakout sessions at the university and also in town. For the official opening, I do have the pleasure to turn over the floor to the chair of Tromso County Government, Cecilie Mjøseth. Please.
The situation in the Arctic has an impact not only on people living here, but on the rest of the world as well. The climate changes happen faster than ever in modern history. Last year was globally the warmest on record ever. Since 1979, the Arctic summer ice has been reduced by more than 40%, a reduction that has dramatically accelerated in the last 2 decades. A new study estimates that Alaska's glaciers lose about 75 billion tons of ice every year. We do not know exactly where this will end. Here is one local example. Pods of humpback whales now occur just some 20 kilometers from where you are now sitting to hunt for herring. Earlier, they used to occur 300 kilometers to the south of Tromso. Where are the whales and the herring in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Knowledge is the answer to all questions in the Arctic. The fact that so many of the world center of competence every year gathers in Tromso give me hope that we will find a basis for a common understanding.
Since its foundation to the present day, most distinguished names of Russia took part in the work of the society. For example, Sergei Witte, Nikolai Vavilov, Vladimir Vernadsky, Ferdinand Brundtl, and so on. You know a number of names. Notable members were from the abroad in the different times. For example, Albert, Prince of Monaco, Carl XVI Gustaf of Sweden, Oscar II of Sweden, King of Iran Nasser al-Din Shah Kuar, try to pronounce it correctly, and famous travelers and explorers, of course, and a lot of them were from Norway. Fridtjof Nansen, for example, Roald Amundsen, Thor Heyerdahl, and so on. The society connects geography and the allied sciences, specialists, enthusiasts of travels, ecologists, public figures, and all those who are keen to explore their country, and not only their country, but the world in a whole.
It's impossible to understand the Earth without understanding the ocean. This quote comes from the man behind me, our famous polar explorer and scientist, Fridtjof Nansen. Nansen developed principal theories about ocean currents that still holds water today. His famous expedition with the polar vessel FRAM served as an inspiration for the Norwegian Polar Institutes and to freeze in the research vessel Lance into the area north of Svalbard last year. Lance drifted along with ocean currents and winds for 5 months. So why do we do this? Well, basically there are 2 overarching questions for the scientific community today when it comes to Arctic climate change. One is, what will be the impacts of climate change on nature and humans in the region? The other overarching question is connected to changes in the Arctic and the effects for the rest of the world. So I take the liberty to twist Fridtjof Nansen's words, saying, it is impossible to understand the Earth without international collaboration. So lean back and enjoy our fantastic Arctic.
With conditions like these, very little research has been done at this time of year. Our time-lapse camera captures how the ice is in constant motion, ripped apart right beside the ship in less than 2 hours.
There's evidence that the ice is becoming thinner, not year by year, but decade by decade. And the thinner it becomes, the more easily it breaks up. We're entering what researchers call a new era in the Arctic.
Divers venture under the ice. Down below, the brightest feature is the hole leading back to the surface. There is life down here, what's called a comb jelly, pulsating in the dark. The ice becoming thinner means some creatures are losing their habitat.
What has been seen around the Arctic is that these animals that live underneath the ice, the biodiversity of those have gone down across the Arctic, and also their abundance and biomass have also gone down.
No one can be sure how rapidly the ice will retreat, but researchers are finding signs of a region being transformed. David Schuckman, BBC News, in the Arctic.
That daring expedition from the Russian side that initiated the Russian studies of the polar ocean on drifting ice was in modern time repeated, a little bit different, by a Norwegian. It's a real pleasure to have Professor Inge Kristoffersen from the University of Bergen, now retired, but more active than ever, and he landed his hovercraft on the North Pole in autumn 2014. And I'll leave the rest of the story for you, Inge.
This is a hovercraft that a regular hull that is built as a polar research craft and equipped as a research vessel. So we can do pretty much everything a research vessel can do: geophysics, geology, and oceanography, but scaled down.
I invite the producer from Norwegian Broadcasting, NRK, Håvard Guldal, to give some background explanation. What is Mission Arctic?
So I work in public broadcasting here in Norway. And 2 years ago we had this crazy idea, or at least I thought until I heard about English. Those kids are going to take over the plant, yes. So the project. We wanted 4 kids to ski to the North Pole on a climate expedition. And they couldn't be too old, so we figured that 12 to 13-year-olds, they should be able to do it. That was my task to complete.
They made it. And we have one of these 4 teenagers with us today. So can you, Johanne Girjärvi, say from Kirkenes in Sydvärna municipality, close to the border of Russia. So you flew to Barno A station, operated by the Russians. And then you were taken to 89 degrees to walk on your ski skis the last degree to the north. So, can you say something about yourself and how you ended up to be one of those kids, Nansen kids?
We are 4 Norwegian kids that care about the climate. We have skied to the North Pole and we have seen the climate change.
Then you were left, the Russian helicopter took you to 89 degrees and left you in the midst of the Arctic wilderness. What did you feel?
It was scary, very scary. But we have trained for a half year and we was prepared, so yeah.
But you knew it was a very long way back to solid land.
Yeah, it was. I can't just go back now. I have to come to the North Pole.
Yes, okay, that's the spirit. So when you think about it now, what was the best part? When did you feel really this is something, I'm very happy I did it?
The chocolate. To eat the chocolate every day and to just sleep after a long day.
Okay, and I assume there were also times when you really regret that you said yes to go. What was the worst things when you think about it in aftermath?
The cold. It was really cold, and one day it was a storm, so we was in the tent for a whole day.
Were you afraid?
Yes, a bit, but not so much. I was really just going, and I didn't think so much.
So what did you really see when you went on this expedition, walking to the North Pole?
We are not scientists. We are children, and when we ski to the North Pole, we've seen the climate change, and we want to learn more about it, so we can tell other kids about it.
And then, to finalize this thing, you also went to Paris.
Yeah. Erika og Johannes met Ban Ki-moon on Svalbard after the trip to the North Pole, and they told him what they had seen and learned. So he told us to go to Paris and talk about it there in front of the politician. So we went to Paris and talk about it, and for the first time in the history, the politicians was agreed to do something. That was because of us.
Yes. That's great.
I'm throwing the madness party.
There you go.